Morning, everybody. Coming at you early this morning. I'm going to keep this video down to just a few minutes. Come to my attention the last video that I did the other night. There's a couple of key things I forgot to mention, in addition to the really jacked up edit to the video that had all the files out of order. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. I have no idea how this crap works. I'm learning as I go. So with a Skoolie build, for me, there's two important factors that I forgot to consider. I had mentioned if you have the time and the patience, and the property, the real estate to park this thing and the time to work on it. What also helps is having friends / family who have different levels of expertise. So growing up, we grew up really poor, and if something was broke, we fixed it, or it didn't work. So we learned it. So we had uncles that were really good mechanics. They didn't have master's degree in automotive technology. They didn't have ASC certifications, but they could take a Windsor 351 apart with a crescent wrench, and they could tune this thing, and they can get it running, within a couple of days usually. So we had mechanics. I had an uncle that was a really good welder. I had an uncle that was a really good electrician / plumber. So you kind of barter between family members and friends that have different skill sets. So if you have these kind of people in your life, it's really good to have. Just this past weekend, I had to bend my bumper sticks on my front bumper in order to give a little bit of clearance for my hood to open. And I had a good friend of mine lives close by. He's like, "Yeah, man, I got a bender. You can come borrow it." It's a specialty tool. It costs like $100. I'm never gonna bend pipe ever again in my life, probably. So there's a lot of little specialty tools that you may need here and there. A grinder and a welder is going to be your best friend. If you don't know how to weld, a lot of the welds on these buses, y'all, I'm going to make a video on the ceiling of my bus. So there are some structural welds in the ceiling of my bus, in the ribs of it, that were done by the factory. This bus has never been modified. It hasn't been taken apart in 30 years. Some of these welds look like a 6-year-old playing with a machine. So, to go on the assumption you have to be some kind of engineer, you have to have some kind of advanced degree or advanced knowledge, technical knowledge, it's just simply not the case. The other thing, before my ADD takes me off into a tangent, resale value. You ever heard of resale value? Well, resale value is a language I do not speak. So everything that I tell you comes from a foundation of, I want this vehicle this way, and I'm going to use this vehicle this way, and I don't give a flip what the market says about it, or what my neighbors say about it, or what 10 years from now, if I want to sell it. Look, with what I have in this bus, if and when I go to sell it, which I doubt I ever will, because I keep a vehicle's a mode of transportation, y'all. These people that get a new car every 18 months, I don't get y'all. I'm happy for you. I'm happy that makes you happy. That's a language I don't speak. Well, you want to keep the mileage low. Look, if you're the type of person that just always has a new vehicle, then resale value is a religion to you. It's not to me. I have 4 vehicles. All of them have well over 100,000 miles. Some have well over 200,000, approaching 300,000. When I buy a vehicle, I buy it for transportation purposes. Now, I do have a nice truck that sits in my driveway. It's covered in dust. I need to wash it. Haven't drove it in 2 months because I haven't needed to. It's a truck. I haven't hauled anything. So I keep my nice truck for when I haul stuff or when I'm going somewhere kind of nice. But other than that, my 4-cylinder covered with bugs, it gets the job done. So a lot of people are like, "Well, Jeremy, you're not insulating this bus properly. That's going to affect the resale." I don't give a flip about resale value. I've already put more emotional energy into this video than I care about resale value. So if you're the type of person that thinks, "Oh, I'm going to build this bus and then I want to sell it and make a profit, or I want to flip it," because I really could sell this bus and make a profit at some point. Not interested in it. I want a bus. I don't want profit. So if you are looking at resale value, well, you better hire a certified XYZ to do this and get documentation. Look, So if you're a resale value person, consider resale value. I don't follow Dave Ramsey, but I do kind of subscribe to a lot of his teachings, and what he says about vehicles is just fundamentally true. It's not an opinion, it's an objective fact. If it has wheels, it goes down in value, with a few very rare exceptions. Those of you with, you know, Eleanors, with 64.5 Mustang GT, Shelby 500s, okay, yeah, your vehicle's probably going up a little bit. But if it has an internal combustion engine or tires, it goes down in value. And his philosophy is everything that you own that has an engine in it, cars, trucks, boats, Sea-Doos, side-by-sides, airplanes, lawnmowers, anything that has an engine, if you add the value of all of those things up and it's more than half of your annual income, you're doing it wrong from a wealth building standpoint. Now, I'm not building wealth, right? I just want to retire one day. I'm not worried about making it to the finish line with a shinier whatever than my neighbor. I just don't care. I don't know if I'm depressed or what, but I have no desire whatsoever to compete with anybody. I just don't care. So, but resale value, if you're a resale value guy, yeah, hire somebody. Hire a certified Skoolie builder in California and pay him or her $150,000 to totally deck your rig out. That way you have this plaque on the wall that's got every little thing that you did to it. So when you go to sell it, you don't lose any money. So resale value, something you might want to consider. I don't. And having that network of friends or relatives that have that skill set that you may need. By the way, a lot of times I may have a skill set they need, so they'll come to me for something. So it's kind of, you know, it's kind of a give and take thing. So don't take advantage of people. And look, we abolished slavery a long time ago. I don't believe in slavery. So if I do get someone to work for me, if I need somebody to weld something really good for me or to, you know, attach something, I'm offering them market value. Like, look, it took you an hour to do this. It's worth $50 for me for you to do this for an hour. I'll give you $50, $60. You know, so it's not about finding somebody who owes you a favor and just getting them to do something for you. That, you know, that's that's up to you, but it helps if you really have those people in your life that can assist you in certain things, maybe with a special tool, or just special advice. I'll send a picture to one of my cousins and be like, hey, does this look cool to you? Do you think this is structurally good? And their subject matter expertise in that area is way more than mine. And they'll be like, oh, that's more than enough, or look, you need to do this, or whatever. So that's two things. Friends and family in your network that can assist, and resale value. That's two things I wanted to address. So I'm learning to do these videos, y'all. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm getting there. More to follow.